In this video, I'm going to show you the McGraw-Hill My Math website. There's a couple of ways that you can access this website. One way is to go to our class site and then go to the links page. And on the links page, you'll see a little logo that says My Math. When you click on that, you'll need your username and password that you were given at the start of the year to log in. The other way you can do it is to go to Clever and use your QR code, and then you can log in through Clever. You'll also see a little logo for My Math, and you just click that logo and it'll bring you directly to the My Math webpage. When you get to this page, you'll see this blue little tab right here. This blue little tab, when you click on it, that is your access to all the different chapters that are in your math journal, as well as all the lessons from each chapter. You'll see that there are some additional resources. So for example, if I click on Spanish resources, there is a Spanish student edition as well as various different workbook pages and vocabulary cards. If you go back and you click on any one of the chapters, you can see the lessons from each chapter on the right hand side. So let's say I wanted to look at chapter 1, lesson 4, representing decimals. If I click on that, over here now we're under lesson resources. These are resources specifically for that lesson, lesson 4 from chapter 1. These lesson resources here are just some of the resources available for this lesson. If you click on any one of these, I'm going to click on the one that says Watch. It will bring you to a page that has those resources on it. Usually what I do is I click on one of those lesson resources, and then I go back and I click right here where it says All Resources. Because once I click All Resources, now I can see every single resource that is available for Chapter 1, Lesson 4. And you can see all the little categories for that. You can then change chapters, you can change lessons, but all of your resources are then in one place. One thing I will point out is you can also do a keyword search up here, and you can favorite different resources as well. That will also help you locate things that you're looking for. If you look through here, you can see that there's everything from virtual manipulatives to video tutorials to copies of different worksheets and copies of paper manipulatives that you can print out as well. If you click on right up here where it says Check, every lesson has a quick self-check quiz. And I'm going to go ahead and open this. The self-check quiz is just a 5-question multiple choice quiz. But this could be an excellent way to review before chapter test, is to just go back to each one of the lesson quizzes and take them again. Again, if I click on All Resources, it takes me back to all the resources for that particular lesson. If you click on Tutor here, you can see that there are various different tutorial videos. Some lessons even have more than one tutorial video. This lesson only has one, but then it also has a Spanish version of it. So this is made by a teacher, and it then is basically teaching you the lesson. If we go back to all of the resources, you can see that there is also video animations, and there's games that are related to that particular skill. And you can then look through different lessons and see that things change when we go to different lessons. So for example, with this lesson we have 2 different video tutorials on comparing decimals, and then a whole bunch more resources here as well. If you go to the Check Your Progress, you'll see that the Check Your Progress looks different here than it does in the Math Journal. Instead of the pages in the Math Journal that have a red banner at the top, you have a link to a Word document that is just a different version of Check Your Progress. So again, another really good study resource. And then we have an e-toolkit here that you can use as well. The Review and Reflect also has some different resources that are not found in your Math Journal. A couple of those resources are another self-checking practice test. It says chapter test, but this is not the test you'll see in class, but it is a multiple choice practice test that you can take. This is a little bit longer. It's a 15-question test, and then when you are done, it will grade it for you automatically. There is also for each chapter a spiral test, Now for chapter 1, that's not going to look very much different because spiral means it's going to cover everything that you've learned all year. And obviously when you're in chapter 1, the only thing you've learned so far is chapter 1. But this is another good resource to use to make sure that you are staying fresh in your mind everything that you've learned throughout the 5th grade year. I'm going to go back to the main page that I was at when I started. To do that, I'm going to click on Oklahoma right up here. Once I click on Oklahoma, I'm brought back to that main page, and you'll see that there's some a to-do box here that says I have no assignments. This is something where your teacher can assign you various different tasks to do, and right now there's nothing there. The main part that you'll probably want to use on this site is the ebook, and that's right up here, and I'll click on that. It'll take a moment to load. But the ebook is basically your math journal. Everything that's in the math journal is in the ebook. And whatever lesson you are on, it will take you automatically to that lesson in the ebook. And the last lesson that I was on was the chapter review. That's why it's brought me to this chapter review. But then you can scroll through the various different pages. You'll see that the homework pages are in here as well as the end-to-end practice, the guided practice. Everything that's in your journal is going to be on here. You can use this tab at the bottom to go to specific page numbers if you know the page number that you want. You can even use this tab right up here to hear the book read aloud to you. And when you come across highlighted words, you can look them up in the glossary as well. It's up here. There are some various tools. There's some circle, underline box tools that you can use. There's a pen and a highlighter. A really good use for this would be if you accidentally left your math journal at school, but you know you have an assignment due the next day. You can log on online, use the pen tool, which will be much better if you're using it on a tablet, because you could just use a stylus or even your finger to write. But even on a computer, you can click on the pen tool and then use the pen tool to write your answers directly in the blanks on here. And then what you could do is you could take a screenshot or print out these pages to send them to your teacher. I'm going to go ahead and clear the scribbling that I did on here. You can also bookmark different pages. You can zoom in on the different pages. And there are, you can see at the bottom down here that there are various different icons again down here on the bottom that will take you directly to those resources that are related to that lesson. So right now I'm on lesson 8. If I click on this little check right here, this will take me directly to that self-checking quiz for lesson 8. If I click on this little tutor button right here, this will take me directly to those tutorial videos that are for lesson 8. There also is a search box up here at the top. If you're looking for a particular topic, you can type that in the search box, and it will bring up every page in the journal that has that particular keyword on it. I'm going to go back to the McGraw-Hill homepage. When you log in, it'll have your name up here in the corner. This is just a generic student account. One other thing that I do want to show you is that when you click on this menu here at the top, this is another way that you can access all of the resources. So if you don't want to go through this lesson resource part right here, if you click on resources right here, it will take you directly to all of the resources that are available for whatever lesson that you have highlighted. So the best way really for you to understand all the resources that you have available here is just to log on and look around. But there is a lot of different tools that you can use here, and hopefully that will be useful to you throughout the year.